So today I'm going to go over how to find sector area of a circle when you're given a central angle and a radius. First we need to understand what a sector actually is. So a sector is a portion of a circle enclosed by two radii and an arc. So it's basically just a piece of a circle. So kind of like if you were to cut a pizza into slices and you take one of the slices, that would be considered a sector, and that sector has area. So the proportion that you use is that the area of a sector um, over the area of a whole circle is equivalent to the central angle over 360. And you're basically just plugging in the information and then solving for either the area of the sector, or sometimes some of the problems will ask you to find the central angle. So let's do a couple together. In the first example, we have a circle with a radius of 8 and a central angle of 70 degrees, and we're asked to find the area of the shaded sector to the nearest tenth. So this orange shaded piece. All right, so first we're going to set up a proportion. We're trying to find the area of the sector, so I'm going to call that my variable. In this case, we could call it A, you could call it X, you could call it any variable you want. Over the area of the whole circle. Well, the area of a circle formula we know is pi r squared. So we're going to plug in the radius into this area of a circle formula. So I do that by saying pi times 8 squared. 8 is the radius. And this is equal to the central angle, which I see here is 70 over 360. Now, to solve, you're going to cross multiply. So 360 times a and 70 times pi times 8 squared. So you end up with 360a equals 70 times 64 pi. When you divide by 360a, you get roughly 39.1 inches squared. So remember, this is area, so the units will always be something squared, in this case, inches squared. Let's try another one together. So if we go to number 3, we see a similar problem. So let's set this up. So we see a circle with a central angle of 127 and a radius of 0.4 meters. Find the area of the shaded sector to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so I'm going to start by setting up my numerator and denominator on either side. So the first thing is I'm looking for the area of the sector, so I'm going to call that A. And that is over the whole area of the entire circle, so pi r squared. So pi times 0.4 squared. And this is equal to the central angle 127 over 360. Okay, great. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So 360 times A is 360A. And 127 times pi times 0.4 squared. So I'm going to use my calculator to do that. So 127 times pi times 0.4 squared is about 63.837. Now I'm going to divide by 360. So divided by 360. And I get about A is equal to 0.1, and then it says 77 meters squared. So I would say that that's about 0.18 meters squared, rounded to the nearest hundredth. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I can go through more problems with you, or show you some of the problems on the Delta Math practice as well using this pen tool that I have.